Let's differentiate this function. This function consists of a product of two functions. The first function, let's call it u, is, let me use brackets so we don't have thousands of parentheses, minus 5x squared minus 5 and raised to the 5. Let me write this down. U is minus 5x squared minus 5 raised to the 5. The second function, let's call it v. V is 7x squared plus 2 raised to the 12. As you can see, each function will require chain rule to differentiate because each function has a function inside. And both of them use power rule first. Since we're working with the product of two functions, we will have to use product rule. Let me remind you the formula. Product rule, u times v prime, this is how I teach it, each instructor teaches it differently. U prime v plus u v prime. I like this notation because it's short. Derivative of times copy plus copy times derivative. Product rule. So we're starting with differentiating the first function u. Let's differentiate u separately. I'll keep the color. U prime is 5 goes down, copy the function inside, decrease the power. That's power rule, remember? And by 5 going down, I mean 5 was multiplied by the original function. The original function inside is, we have to keep it. Remember, we're copying it. But then we do times, and chain rule comes into the picture and says, don't forget, there's some kind of function inside. You must multiply by the derivative of that function. Now I can write it down and see that the function inside is a polynomial. It's a quadratic function. Minus 5x squared minus 5. Derivative of that is minus 10x. And that is a derivative of u. Similarly, I like messing up with English on purpose, you find v. Instead of showing you how this process will work in details, I will give you a sketch. I think it will help you to work faster. A function raised to the 12. Maybe pause the video right now and do it yourself. We'll see. Maybe you do it faster than me. 12, copy the function inside. Raised to the what power? 11 times the derivative of the function inside, which is what? 14x. And the function inside was 7x squared plus 2. Well, I end up taking derivative after all. But this is how I would recommend remembering the steps. Derivative of the function outside, copy the function inside, times the derivative of the function inside. Finally, the original function f prime becomes, so if you remember, we started with u prime. You know what? I'm going to copy this thing. And instead of looking into my own notes, I'm going to pretend I did not take any derivatives yet. And then show you how to do it faster. And I will show you why I have another copy at the bottom. Because they did some kind of interesting factoring, so I was curious if you like it or not. The derivative of the first function is 5 goes down, minus 5x squared minus 5 to the 4 times the derivative of the function inside is, let me change the color just for fun. Derivative of minus 5x squared minus 5 is minus 10x. Copy. So you can put brackets, open new brackets. Copy the second function, 7x squared plus 2 raised to the 12. Plus, open new brackets. Copy the original function, the first original function, this guy. Minus 5x squared and minus 5 raised to the 5. You're copying it because we already differentiated. Times the derivative of the other function. And now 12 goes down. Let me change the color. 12 goes down. Copy 7x squared plus 2. Decrease the power, don't forget, 11 instead of 12. Times the derivative of the function inside, which is 14x. Finish brackets, and that is the answer. That is the final answer. I would not even do anything with this. Why bother? So I would type all of this carefully in the online homework problem or write it down. However, the answer I see in a solution is this. So I wanted to explain to you that this is not a necessary step and you should get full credit for doing so much work. But I definitely can see that they factored out everything they could, which means they factored out this part to raise to the 4. That's why it's over here. So equals. That is because it's repeated here and here. The second time it's just raised to the 5th power. So if I factor it out, it will be minus 5x squared minus 5 to the 4. They also factored out this repetitive factor, 7x squared plus 2 to the 11, which also exists at the first term, but to the 12th. So let me do that too. 7x squared plus 2 to the 11. You always factor out the factor with the lowest exponent. Now let's see what stayed. So 5, let me color code it even better. 5 and minus 10 gives you negative 50x. Good. Plus, oh, don't forget, we also need to multiply by 7x squared plus 2 to the 1. This was 12, but we are factoring 11, so we have to keep 1. Oh, so they even distribute this later. Well, that's lots of extra work. Plus, and from the second term, we have a leftover over here. Instead of 4, we have 5, so it will be minus 5x squared minus 5 to the 1 times, and now we have 12 times 14, 12 times 14x. Close. So, okay, I like this answer too because everything is factored. As you can see, everything is factored. But, as I can see, they also collected the terms because this is the result after the collecting terms. Distributing collecting terms, 7 times 5 gives you negative 35 x cubed, blah, 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 but there will be another x cubed over here. That is too much extra work. So if you want to have fun right now, finish and get this result, which I copied for you, for your interest. That's like a fun ending of this video. But we want you to know the procedure of the chain rule and be very good at the procedure. So, chain rule, product rule, quotient rule. This is the most important part, is here. Make sure you're good at this. Try to do your own example, pause video a couple times, and practice by yourself. Good luck!